Hello, everyone. Welcome to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. We are radio, TV, and a podcast station. We are the #1 internet talk network. And we are so happy this morning. We have Magical Mornings with Bella Maria. Hello, Bella.
Hi, everyone. How is everybody doing?
Oh, I'm excited about the show today. If those that don't know me, I am Cece Schatz. I'm the doyenne of relationship building, and I'm just kind of the moderator of the show here today. But the
I
star of the
honestly
show.
just like having her around. So,
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I like your energy, so I'll be around. But I love what you're going to talk about. So what are we going to talk about today?
okay. So, um, my name is Bella Maria, and I keep getting calls. I'm sorry. My name is Bella Maria, and I am a spiritual romance coach. Not only that, I just love to just share the information that I have had in my tool bags for many, many years and the things and experiences that I've had. I am a loveologist, a romance and love coach through Dr. Ava Cadell, and I am an intuitive. And so I work with God, and He helps me just deliver messages when needed. So the great thing about this show is that we get to talk about all this stuff, and we get to talk about all the wonderful things. Now, last week, we talked about Mercury retrograde, and we're still in it. And if you're not feeling it, then it's really good to you. Because I think everybody's feeling Mercury retrograde. Yesterday I was
Is
in
that why
my
we're feeling tired? Do you think
yes,
feeling kind
because we're working towards the energy. Like, because what happens is Mercury is going backwards. And electronics is all we're completely surrounded with, and that's the ruling planet of electronics. Anything that has to do with electricity, Mercury does. So
of?
hence, we are completely surrounded by electronics, so it happens. And so this is the time that you like relax, you don't do anything. That's why yes, last week was stand still. Like, you really just need to stand still. And yesterday I had the weirdest thing happen. I don't know if it was like God just kind of just telling me to like sit tight or what, but I was at the store getting out of my car, and never had this happen ever. And I went in and I was going to get out of my car. And there's this man. Our area is safe, but not always. And so there's always things that happen. So, being in a big city.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a man, and I don't know if there was mental illness involved or anything, but there was something going on, and I was alerted, and I just kind of like wanted to sit tight. But I was like, no, I'm going to be fine, and I just would. So I was getting out of my car, and as I'm getting out of my car, my lock would not lock, which led me to stay in my car for a longer period of time. And then as soon as the guy leaves out of his car,
Mm-hmm.
my car door locks. So it's either Mercury retrograde or something was trying to keep me from doing it. But it was the weirdest thing. It was so weird. So that's why you kind of like have to listen to your intuition. I really, really, really like, I'm kind of the coach that tries to help people tap into their intuition, like tap into the things that they need to tap into so that they can do it themselves. But you have to do it in a safe space, and you have to protect yourself. But in this situation, you kind of just can't help to like think, okay, in my mind, I was saying I should probably stay here, because there's been a lot of like muggings and a lot of things. People have been like pistol whipped. It's been some crazy stuff.
Oh, wow.
In our area. Yeah. So it's everywhere, no matter where you go. And so, uh, I kind of just questioned. I was like, do I stay or do I go? Right. And then when my car wasn't locking, what does that tell you? Like, is that telling me that like Mercury was just kind of like playing with me, or was it really like God just kind of like trying to protect me, or my spirit guide is trying to protect me. So whatever it was, I felt like there was a reason for that, and you kind of just have to acknowledge it. Just like when you feel like, I think I'm going to go take this route instead of this route that I normally take, maybe listen to it, because it could avoid a car accident, things like that. So, I think Mercury retrograde is playing a big part in our life, like I said. And right now should be this journaling part of, just sitting tight, standing still, and journaling. And when you're journaling, you're getting your plans set out for the next part. When you journal, you kind of start talking to yourself, talking to your paper, and you start writing everything and all the goals and plans and the things that you want to do and how you want to do it. And maybe like you write poetry and like that's the way that you get it out, or maybe you write a story and that kind of like brings out something in you. But whatever it is, journaling always helps get and stimulate the senses, to try to get you to like move to the next level, move to the next part of the path. It's like, remember the candy land, and you're on the square green, and then you go to pink or blue or whatever. There's a reason for it. You plan, and this is the time that you sit still and plan. We have it until September 14th. So the reason why I said ready, it is
7 more days.
7 more days. This is
only 7 more days.
7 more days. So,
but you know what I consider, I think about it and I think, okay, it's just a period of transition, right?
mm-hmm.
It allows you to kind of slow down a little bit, think things through a little bit more, maybe do some organizing, some planning, and slow your pace just a little bit. Because if you don't, it will make you.
It will make you. It would be like, sit tight, buddy.
That's right. The
internet right there.
Your computer won't turn on. Your phone won't work.
You're not doing anything. Go sit down and read a book. But yeah,
if you won't do it, I'll make you.
Mm-hmm. It'll force you to really literally say, you can try to do everything in every which way, and no. And then a release will just happen. And then on the 14th, you should start seeing things get a little bit better. And then you have about a week of residual. Mm-hmm. And like you'll have a little bit, but it's not as bad as what we experienced during the Mercury retrograde. And so, if nobody, the people that are watching or, listening, so Mercury, you can look up Mercury retrogrades in the Farmer's Almanac. So it does affect your plants. It affects everything. It's very, very interesting. And there's certain things that you want to do during your gardening time that you should do too. So
I will tell you, I have a really, I don't know where I got it. Actually, I think I do know where I got it. It's like I gave it to me, but gave me this little rose bush, just a tiny little one, right?
Yeah.
You could have inside, and now this rose bush has gotten so much bigger, and it is blossoming, and I'm, so
how pretty
really in retrograde. So yeah, it's doing really, really good. So
yeah, see, it's also, it depends on where you are. So like in where I live, we have a vortex. Mm-hmm. Also, like in San Diego down south, there's a vortex, and in this once it just got renovated, and it was a mansion. It's kind of like a home that had a significant, like there was just a lot of things that were going on in this place. And so I guess it's like a crazy vortex, but we have a vortex here. And that's why a lot of people come here, because it's the vortex of, I think, with plants, because we were all agriculture. Complete agriculture. And then everything like orchards, cherries, like everything you could think of, we were here. Now we're surrounded by the agriculture, but we're a major city, Silicon Valley, So, but if you think about it, it's still the same concept. Like we're just growing chips. like we're just growing, like we just, it stimulates, there's something about it that really brings out this energy that you can't get anywhere else. So a lot of creative, just a lot of creativity that goes on out here. So it's a great town and I love it, and it's my city, and yeah, it's just sad.
You're moving. You're going to be moving here soon.
Yeah, I'll be moving up north. I just it's not the same. It's not the same as what we used to. It's really hard out here. And so we're just gonna live more comfortably and be more comfortable and, be more settled. It's just,
Will the weather be a little different since it's further north? Will it be a bit different for you?
what would you think it would be? Do you think it'll be
Well,
hotter
when I
or
think
colder?
of north, I'm always thinking, that snow.
Right?
Will it snow? It won't snow where you are, will it?
Okay, so where we're going is kind of in betweeny, like Sacramento and like Yuba City. So Redding, remember like where that Paradise Fire was, the horrible, horrible fire that there was out here. It was
Oh yeah, yeah.
that really big fire compared to like Maui. Okay, so that is like probably about 3 hours away from us, but we're almost by Sacramento. And so we're just on the outskirts in the agriculture area.
Mhm.
And so we are just, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's very hot. And you would think that you would go down south. And it's funny because when you go down south, it's hot. Like if you go to Los Angeles, if you go in those areas, then when you reach San Diego, there's certain parts of San Diego, like when you get into San Diego, and if you're by the bay, it's kind of like San Francisco. Like you're getting a lot of fog rolling in because what they have is like a mountaintop, and then the fog rolls over and then like kind of splits.
Right.
It's so crazy. And then that area, just half of the time that, the whole year is like fog, and it's like 68, 70. You never really see the sun. It's just like San Francisco. And so, but then it gets like summertime, super hot. October, it gets a little bit warmer because then you have the hurricane seasons because it's coming from Mexico.
Right.
So
we have that now in Florida. We've got the hurricane season now. We just had a hurricane. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. That was so crazy. I couldn't believe I'm
in Clearwater, Florida, and we were very lucky, very
the thing was like going right.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna be, close enough to do some damage to us, and it did. I mean, some homes that were right on the water got water in them, but further up.
Yeah, that's the one thing that sucks. You love sitting, that's the one, it's the demise. It's that double-edged sword. You live by the water, you're gonna like get struck by the water, like it's gonna happen. So you just have to be ready for it, which is really unfortunate because it is beautiful though. Like being by the water.
I love Clearwater. I love where I live. I love the area.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. I wish, we have like Santa Cruz is just right over the mountains, but our Santa Cruz mountains they're not mountains to be reckoned with. I mean, like Highway 17, going that highway is like people die out there. Like it's actually the guy who, and this will be a perfect way of getting in. I didn't think this was going to happen, but the man who designed Highway 17 had committed suicide because of the fact that he couldn't live with how many people died on that road because of certain turns and the way that it goes. It's just like horrific. But once you get on the summit and you look out and you see just redwood trees everywhere, and then boom, you see the ocean. And it's out of, you're in the clouds because it's the summit.
Right.
But the rain, it's literally its own ecosystem. So Santa Cruz is its own rainforest. It's just in redwood trees. And then as you get closer to the ocean, the vegetation completely changes and it gets warmer and everything. But literally when you're in the redwood trees, it's its own ecosystem. It's something that you just cannot, like, If you haven't seen it, you have to. It's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things I'm going to miss a lot. Like, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But speaking of,
I can imagine.
yeah, getting teary-eyed. So speaking of suicide, I wanted to talk about, and I want to get my stats here, but I feel like, we're getting into fall, things start getting a little bit different, starts getting dark. People, get affected by either financial situations and things. And so I wanted to share a couple stats from 2000 to 2020. More than 800,000 people died by suicide in the United States. And with males representing 78.7% of all suicides that happened between 2000 and 2020. In 2022, around 49,500 people died by suicide, according to the CDC. So this is the highest that it's been ever recorded. And I just want people to understand there are places that you can call, but you could also contact Lifeline, which is a 24-hour. They speak English and Spanish and other languages. And all you have to do is just dial 988, or you can send a text message 988, or just chat with them. So I think that a lot of our veterans, they're struggling too, and they're dealing with a lot of things. And I noticed that out here we have a lot of homelessness, and is not only just mental illness, but it's also veterans that didn't get the help that they needed with the PTSDs and things like that. And so then you add drugs into the mix, and it's just a horrific thing. And so I think that just at least acknowledging and maybe calling or giving this number to someone could just help them and save them. So 988, it's just a simple three digits, just like, 911 or anything, but it's 988. So
we also have a number here for the VA crisis line. It's
awesome.
800-273-8255, or you can text 838-255 for help. So if you find that you are in need, that you need to talk to someone at the veterans, they do have a crisis line. I thought I had the suicide information up. I was looking for that, but
I found that this one's a 24-hour, and that's why I was like, wow, this one's actually a little bit different. I know that the other one does the 24-hour too. I just thought it was so cool that it was just 3 digits, and like the Lifeline, from what I'm seeing, has been very, very great.
Again? What is the
Lifeline? It's a 24-hour suicide line.
And then what is the number?
If it's so basically it's just 988, and then you text message 988. So you can call 988, or you can text message 988.
Okay. All right.
Wow. Yeah, the official thing is 988lifeline.org.
Okay. But yeah. It's because I do so much with the divorce support, right?
Yeah.
So we have so many people that are in transition, and they fall into depression. I mean, I've been there myself, so I know exactly. And so it's very, very important that if you feel like that you have someone that you can talk to.
Yeah.
Either a mentor, or, your pastor, or a friend, or just a stranger. So you want to call this 988 and just talk to them with regards to it. Or again, the veteran crisis line, and talk to them. Because
anywhere you feel comfortable going to talk to is the best thing for anyone to do.
Yeah.
So, and to be 78.7% of males, that really tells you something, and that's really scary. And we, regardless of, female or male, we need our men. I'm sorry. Like, I need my man.
We do.
I need my man. I don't want him.
My dating pool's getting shorter and smaller and smaller.
Yeah, that too. Well, that's why San Jose is called Man Jose. There's all men in there. There's not, but it's man Jose. So, but my son, I would die if something was to happen to him because he was so hard on himself,
Oh,
and
yeah.
people struggle even with just like OCD, or just not feeling like you're not perfect enough, you're not good enough, that you have to do better, you have to do, and that's just not always the case. You're perfect the way you are, and whatever you're doing, you're there for a reason, and God's put you there for a reason, and maybe it's just not time yet. Like you just have to, like, again, sit still, plan it out, because you could see this potential of doing this. Like I saw this and I wanted to do this for like 7 years, and I worked at it, and slowly I had kids, I homeschool, I worked towards my family's goals first, but with all the frustrations that I had of not being able to be successful in a certain place, you just have to sit tight and know, like, God's got your back, and there's a plan, and everything will work out the way it needs to work out. And
great. We're coming up to the holidays. We start approaching.
yes.
We're already in September. October, November will be upon us, and the holidays, and so many people look at their lives. They take that time period, and they look at their lives, and they feel regrets. They feel like, where is their life going? They're not where they thought they would be. And that's when it really, depression truly does hit.
Yeah.
And so if you're feeling that way, it's okay to feel the way you're feeling. There's no mistake in that. However, you need to be able to talk to someone and start putting a plan and a path together to be able to get you out. Maybe you need medication, maybe you don't need it. Maybe you need to change your diet. Maybe you just need a new way of looking at life, so all of those things. Yeah.
I know, like, when there's times where like I kind of feel a little down and sad, and like I just feel like there's like a fog over me, and it's crazy because then like my kids will be like, did you take your vitamins, Mom? And I'm like, oh, I haven't taken them in like 3 days. But I'm the one who's giving everybody their vitamins, but I know like how many days I can take. It's just I'm horrible at it. I like don't want to take too much, and I don't want to take too little. But there's times where I just start feeling a certain way, and then I'm like, I need my vitamin B's. Okay, I got it. Because vitamin B is great for flowing and blood flow, and helping your veins, your nerve endings, and coating them, and all of that, and it helps with your nerves, so along with magnesium. But like there's certain things, like if you don't take and eat well, and you don't take your vitamins, you're going to have some problems, and just stay healthy.
You get off, your balance gets off a little bit. It's like same thing with exercise. We were talking about exercise, not exercise. And I need to get it in. I'm so pale because I have not been going outside. I've been putting like extra stuff on to make myself look a little bit better, but because I get really pale. And so, I'm very light skinned. And so, you need that. You need to get out in the sun a little bit. You need to get the fresh air. You need to, I was talking to somebody yesterday, said you need to hug a tree.
Yes.
Nobody
that's
else
grounding.
So I might as well hug a tree.
That's grounding. Do you know that, right? When you hug a tree, you're grounding yourself. Have you seen the nerves? Like how many nerves a tree has? Like all the roots. Have you ever seen like when it looks like spaghetti? Like
true.
Yeah, it looks like spaghetti. Like if there's been like a lightning and it struck, and sometimes you could see it, but it's kind of cool. Like you have a lot of it's all from the earth, and so walking barefoot outside in grass.
A palm tree, will that count?
Same thing. You can hug a palm tree. Palm trees are not going to hurt you. I mean, they might poke you a little bit.
Palm tree. I mean,
But those are pretty palm trees. If you take care of them, it depends on what kind of palm tree. The really big ones, right? Is that what you're talking about?
You have the royal palms. Those are
yeah. They're smooth. Yes, we're going to have a lot of palm trees where we're at because it's too hot.
Yeah, I think that's why it's kind of good to do a little gardening. I have some plants in my house now, and I really do love that. And so I think
Yep.
it does bring that, that earth to you, that grounding to you, getting your hands in the soil and watering them and talking to them and, all the weird stuff that I do.
Yeah. My son would sing to the plants to make sure that when he was little, he would sing to the plants so that they would grow. And he's like, Mom, see, they're dancing. They're dancing.
Put the phone up to them.
Yeah. Have you seen those things that you clip on to like mushrooms or like leaves? It's like these little clips and you put them on and then the music comes out of it.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. So based on the energy of the plant, it will give out a certain tune. And like sometimes, I mean, they come out so beautiful. It's the coolest thing. I wish I could get one of those.
I bet my rose plant, my little rose bush would be singing a pretty tune.
Yeah. If it's growing that good, then
I'll take a picture of it again. It's amazing. I mean, it's great. I had a friend watch it when I was up to my son's, and he repotted it, and he babied it. So worried he's going to kill my plants.
Oh my gosh, how nice!
Very good job. He's a very good friend. He did a very good job. So yeah, so I got them back. He repotted them all in repots, and they look really
wow,
good.
What a good friend.
Oh yeah, and he said, well, I thought clay pots because I thought they would be really good in clay pots, and so he did that. And yeah, he would really maintain the plants. So the plants come back to me, it's like I look at them and say either live or die, up to you, sweetie.
My mom says anytime a plant wants to come in, like comes into her house, it's always dead by the time, like she goes, I feel so bad from these plants. They come into the house and I kill them. They probably scream by the time they're at the door.
They've all made the decision to live, so they've done really well. So
that's awesome. That's so good.
Great. Yeah. So yeah, no, I love it. It's one little thing that I have, but yeah. So we need to get out, do things, but certainly if you're feeling depressed, call Lifeline 24/7. It's open. Text or call 988. Please do. We're reach out to us, talk to us, but please do that.
Yeah, I think it's so important. Take care of yourself.
Well, why don't we take a commercial break? I think it would be nice to be able to do that. When we come back, what are we going to talk about when we come back?
When we come back, we're going to talk about rose quartz, pheromones, and ask Bella.
Oh, pheromones. Ooh, this is something totally different. Yes, and I'd love to ask Bella. So you guys stick around if you're listening to us. We'll be right back. And you're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. And this is The Magical Morning with Bella Maria. We'll be right back.
See you soon.
I'm holding on, if almost gone. Someday I know I'll finally make it through the gates. Just have to wait. You whisper to me, there's no maybe. There's only time for dreams even greater. I hear the call, and I close my eyes to see even clearer. I see it all. I know that we can go higher if we keep our faith, if we keep our faith. Sometimes I'm like a whisper in a riot, but I grow stronger, keep believing in me. Say you're believing in me. You're believing.
Hello, welcome back to Magical Mornings with Bella. You're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. Of course, all of our information is right there on the goingsolomedia.com. When you go on goingsolomedia.com, you're going to see something totally different. We've kind of changed a little bit of the front where we've kind of created an umbrella, which is called News Stream Network. So we hope that you'll see that. And all of our wonderful hosts, such as Bella, are on there. All of our information there, all of our links, so that you can go to our website and be able to check it out. Her website is askbellamaria.com. So make sure that you do that. Ask any questions that you want. She'd be more than happy to answer them.
I'll answer them right here.
Yes, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. If you want to make a comment, ask a question, she'll be happy to answer it. So We're talking about Ready, Set, Go with Bella Maria. So what are we doing now?
Well, so we are going to just talk about rose quartz.
Let's do that.
You can have rose quartz. I have that on blur. So you have rose quartz. It kind of looks like, let's see if I can do something dark.
My thing. I have this too.
Let me see if I can show you and when it's. I know this is my Coach. I'm not representing Coach. They're not advertising, but that is a rose quartz right there. And
like the pink.
Yes, it's a pink tone. It could go a little bit more creamy pink, or it could be really like salmony. It just depends on like where you get your
I really like it.
crystals from.
So
put this sucker underneath your bed.
I never thought about that. What happens then?
You have romance. You got love. So what it does is it opens up the heart chakra, and it releases.
Can you get like a, how when you fill your garden, you get the big load?
I get those. I have bags and bags of rose quartz. I have bags of Yes, you can get them. Trust me, they have it.
What's underneath your bed?
Yeah. So I just have one. But
I will.
I'm just gonna throw the whole thing, line it all up.
I know. There's gonna be a big run on rose quartz now. Anybody that wants romance, woohoo! Yes.
So what it does is it opens up the heart chakra and allows you to soften your heart a little bit. Sometimes, we harden ourselves, we close up, and then we don't allow things to just happen. We feel guarded, it's just a lot of things. So rose quartz kind of does that for you. It allows you to just open up your heart chakra, you allow the energy to flow through, and you just feel more at peace. Mm-hmm. And so a little bit about this one's coming from Doreen Virtue. I just love this book, and Judith Lukomsky, and it's called Crystal Therapy. And so what I like about this book is that it's just very concise. And so you can just find like the ones that the crystals that you usually find in the stores is pretty much in here with pictures. So that way you can see what it is. And if it matches up and you're like, okay, I got it. That's what it is. So I kind of like this book. It's very, very small, and I can have it anywhere I go. But in the sense for archangels, when you're working with angels, or if you like working with angels, rose quartz is for Ariel. Okay. Like we talked about, it is the color pink. Healing properties of the rosy stone. It facilitates heart healing, openness to love on all levels, and focuses your energy on self-love. Okay. It also fosters inner peace, tranquility, and healing.
Nice.
So you can keep it with you, hold it. You can do, an affirmation with it. I open my heart and love to, anyone who wants to accept it, things like that. So that is something that crystals are just kind of I love having them. They're just my friends.
I like this one. I've always been very pleased with this one.
Yeah. And that's your pendulum. For people who don't know what that is, that is a pendulum.
Talk about that if you want. Like, how does this work? Tell us how this works.
So a pendulum, okay, so I don't know if you've ever gone to a museum or like a science museum. They usually have like one pendulum that goes and hangs from the thing, and then it literally just moves with the energy, right? So that's kind of the same concept. So normally you use it on something like your hand. You don't usually hold it because it takes too long to get to the ground unless you're closer to the ground. That's how I feel. Okay, this is just my opinion. But what you do is you hold it. I should have got mine. So you hold it like this, right? And then I normally get protection, and because if you talk to any spirit, it's going to tell you the answer it wants to tell you. It's kind of like a Ouija board. So you want to just say whatever you say. So I say, Jesus, God, Jesus, our Lord, Michael, Archangel, I ask you to protect me. I'm going to ask a question about, and then it goes in and I say, Jesus, are you here? God, are you here? And then it just continues to move forward, and Michael will protect me while I'm doing that. And then, and your thing is going on. Are you moving that?
Nope.
You weren't moving it. It was, oh, well, I was asking if Jesus was here. So that's awesome. So what you do is you ask that question. And so what happens is then it will move. Usually like you can get like these like boards. They're little boards, and I'll say like, sometimes they'll put like moons or angels or anything on it. And they'll be like, yes, no, maybe. So if it's going at an angle, it usually is like maybe. If it goes in a circle, it's kind of like undecided. That's for me. So like if I get a circle and a person asks a question or I ask a question and I'm not supposed to know the answer, it goes in a circle. So what you kind of do is just you make sure that you have a safe environment, and you when you're doing that kind of stuff, because then you can welcome anything, and that's not what you want to do. Yeah. So,
well, when I was doing, I didn't know what I was doing, right? And so I didn't know that I was supposed to do that. So, but I would ask a question. I think about it, I pray a little bit, and then I would do this, and then I would ask a question. And for me, if it moves in a circle, that meant yes. If it didn't move at all, it meant no.
The way that you can tell is no and yes, because how do you know is your yes and no's? Like, so what you?
No, I think I said if if it's yes, please let me know, and it would move. If it's no,
okay,
no, and it just stayed still. It stayed absolutely still, didn't do a thing. I thought, okay, well, that must be no.
Okay, so also another way of being able to test your pendulum is it daylight where I'm at? And then if it answers, then it's yes, and then no, or asking like things that are just kind of like the obvious that you already know kind of thing. But it's not, people kind of like think, oh, it's you're doing it. And I'm like, no, look here, use it. And I have a wooden one because every time I used a crystal, my energy is a little stronger. I'm a higher frequency. So anytime I use the crystal would just do what I told it to do. And so I would get the answers that I would like think yes, and it would say yes. Whereas like when I use the wood one, it doesn't read my energy. It reads the energy that I'm, connecting with.
Right.
So
yeah, it's very interesting.
It is pretty cool.
I find it interesting, but I don't know. I just feel like our life is a given. We're on a path that we're supposed to be on, and
yeah. People think like, oh, I don't believe in God, or oh, I don't believe in this. And it's like, okay. But in a way, there's always something, like somebody believes in something, like they believe in rocks or, but who made those rocks? It's like there was an energy source that made those rocks. Like it didn't just come out of nowhere. It's an energy source. So when you look at God, God is an energy source, and Jesus was just the vessel of someone to just say, I am like his son. I created this. Like this is what he created, and he created me so that I could help you. Okay. Then you look at it in other ways. It's like if you look at Mother Earth and you look at it and you honor and you respect like crystals and the trees and all of that. I do the same thing because you know what? It's what God made us. Like God made all of this. Like I can't, people are, go one way or the other. Like, oh, that's witchcraft. No, it's not witchcraft. It's literally just appreciating what God gave us.
Right. I mean, we're all given individual gifts, right? We're all given that. And I'm so big into relationships, right? And so
Yeah.
I wonder to myself, why do I have people that come into my life and I get so hurt, Why is it that happens to me? But the reason is because I am to learn something from not only the experience, but from the person. And so if I think back into all the relationships I've had, there's been a lot of wonderful moments that I cherish, absolutely wonderful moments that I cherish. But there's a lot of things that I have learned from each relationship that I have been into, even the pain that I've actually gone through. So I think that we have to understand that we're all on a journey, right? And we have to embrace the people that come in our lives for whatever reason, what do they say, a season or a lifetime. And we just have to embrace that and understand that if that happens, then, there's a reason for it. And there's something new that's going to be happening, some new experiences.
Also, it helps us. Yeah, it's like, I think also though, we're given these experiences because we need to, because in your path, the way that you chose to help people. You chose that life to be able to help and guide people to overcome situations after relationships. So you can't sympathize, or you can't, like, you have to be in their shoes in order for you to be able to assist people, and so I've had so many different things happen in my life, and I was young and I had things, and I have people, women that come to me like 70, 60, and I can sympathize, and I've already had almost an experience that they've experienced, and I've been able to understand, how do I help them? How do I guide them? How do I give them like the hope to be able to do something? So in a way, it's like, I think also you got to consider like you've experienced it for other people so that you can teach them, because you are strong enough to overcome it. Mm-hmm. And you can guide them and say, okay, this is how I did it when this happened, or this is what other people have done when this happened. But it allows you to be able to help.
Relatability. Yeah, for sure.
It's so big. If you can't relate and you're just going off of textbooks, people are not going to take you, like, they're going to just be like, you've never experienced it. You don't even know what you're talking about, So I think that's when people come back into your life and help, or that guidance, it's because God sent them there to you, or the universe, or whoever, your paths cross for a reason.
Right.
So the good or the bad, your paths cross.
Right.
So,
but even the bad, I mean, like I was saying before, that even the bad, experiences that you have, the hurt, the painful ones, there's still a learning, a learning message there or whatever. There's still something there that you can take away, and create the next, the transition and move forward into it. But I love all that you have to say, because you help us understand that we do have a path that we can walk down,
We really all do. It's
exciting to think what's on the horizon.
I know. And I think that, we all have paths, and we all have to just understand that whenever we hear something, write it down. Whenever we think something or an idea and you think, oh, that's stupid, that's never gonna, and then somebody else takes it because, the universe sent it to somebody else, so it's kind of like you guys, like, listen, and you don't have to question yourself. You should feel confident in yourself to be able to follow what you want to do. Just, it might not be right away, because a lot of people are like, I want it right away. It might be 7 years down the road. It might be 10 years down the road. Just, you have to be patient and just kind of chip away at it. And then if it doesn't work at that moment, put it on the back burner and do something else that you are working on. Yeah. And then eventually something will come up, like, oh my God, I already have all those notes from what I was working on before. Let me pull them out, because it always
hard real quick, because we're almost out of time.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and
I've been
That's okay.
I'm supposed to keep you on the chat, and I'm messing around.
It's okay. I was just looking at the time too. Okay. So this is for anyone who is watching. This is an angel card. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and stop. Wedding. The situation involves a marriage. Now, this card always comes up. If it comes up as a wedding or marriage,
somebody I know,
then then what could happen is that it could be a long relationship. It doesn't have to be a wedding. It could be something that you'll be in a long relationship. That's the way I look at it, is that because there's no long relationship card. So a marriage is kind of something where you bond together, you're connected, you're united as one, but it doesn't always have to be like a traditional marriage type. Like it could be, you're just bonded as one and you live with this person or you stay with this person for a long period of time. So when that card does come up, it doesn't always necessarily mean wedding. Like,
it means more of a commitment that
there's a very long relationship, long commitment coming up.
I'm probably want that with myself. A commitment with me. Love me. No, I'm just
So real quick, I just wanted to I had a couple things. People were asking me about my skin, but then also people were asking about pheromones. Okay. And I love Love Winks. And this one is actually made by Love Winks, but this one is a truly madly deeply. It has pomegranate, fig, coconut, and plumeria. There is a men version. It's called Bluescape, but you put this on, and a pheromone is, you guys know what pheromones are. We'll talk about it a little bit more later down the road, but pheromones, attract people to you. It doesn't have to be like everybody's flocking to you and like, oh, I want to be with you. Oh, I love you. Oh, Bella. It's nothing like that. It's literally, you put it on and it's just, instead of people that are grumpy, they'll smell you and then they're a little bit nicer to you. If they match the pheromone.
How do we get that? Because I'm interested. How do we get that?
You can go bath in it. You can go to askbellamaria.com and
that up.
And then you can go to askbellamaria.com and there is a link for Love Winks and you can look up. There's a couple different types. This one is one of my favorites, but then there's also the one for the men, and that's the Bluescape. And there's a whole shower gel line, lotion, everything for women and men. And it's great. They're very, very, they're safe. They're very natural. And I am very more natural. There's essential oils and such. And it's just a great, great product line that I fell in love with a long time ago. And this was just something that I wanted to share because people were asking about pheromones and getting people to attract. My skin. I am willing to send out samples to people on that are interested in needing skincare. They want to use something that works because honestly, this is gluten-free. It's a product that you won't get sick from, that I am aware of. I have the most sensitive skin and everything hurts me. But I have found that this is a company that really, really works. And so if you are interested in having me send out some samples, I will send them out to you. They were given to me by a friend. So if you want these, I can share the information with you, and then you can go ahead and feel free to try it out and see if it works for you. But I break out all the time, and this product has not allowed me to break out, which I am so grateful because
Beautiful skin. Beautiful.
thank you. I worked really hard. My mom and my dad had gotten me on like Accutane for two rounds of Accutane. It was just when I was in high school. So thank God for them to do that. But I really try to keep it up, and having hormone things and having Hashimoto's and keeping it regulated with food, you can only do so much. So, by having products with gluten allergies, people who have gluten allergies, this is a great product line for that. It's just been.
We're gonna have to go. I hate to say that. So you guys
Take care. That's okay.
.com.
You guys have a wonderful day.
ELLAMARIA.com, and you can find all of the products right there. And just if you want that free sample for your skin, just make sure you sign up for it, and she'll send it to you. So we'll do that. You guys know that she's on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure you do that. And we talk about all kinds of things. And as you'll see, even though I kind of post in the show notes what we're going to talk about, it's very organic. And we changed that.
We're getting called.
That's probably the next show called.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.
Later. Bye.
Bye.